Fake news is as fake news does. I'm Brian Lilly with the Rebel.media. We all remember CNN trying desperately to get a question into Donald Trump a few months back and Trump shouting down CNN's Jim Acosta as fake news.
No, not you. Not you. Your organization's terrible. Your organization's terrible. Let's go. Go ahead. Quiet. Quiet. Go ahead. She's asking a question. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question. You are fake news. Go ahead.
While now Trump could be leveling that same claim at the New York Times and all the news organizations that ran with this story claiming the Trump administration was suppressing a report on climate change. The Times ran big with this story on Tuesday. It was picked up around the world and repeated by media organizations as if it were gospel. Now, the story is that there was a major new climate report put together by a collection of government scientists from 13 agencies showing once again that man-made climate change was putting us all at risk. Change now or you shall perish. Well, a report like that isn't news, and that wasn't the news hook. I mean, those types of reports are issued on a regular basis by governments around the world, by international bodies like the UN and others. So no, the news hook here was that this report was being suppressed by the Trump administration and that brave scientists leaked it because they were afraid that otherwise it would never have seen the light of day. That angle, that Trump was suppressing vital information, was the one that was played up all over the place. It fit a pre-existing narrative, and so media outlet after media outlet ran with the story without checking to see if it was true. And of course, it wasn't. The copy of the report the New York Times linked to had been available online for public comment since January. It's called a third-order draft, meaning it was the third draft of the report. Any report involving 13 government agencies will go through many drafts before it was released, but this draft was available online in January, and a fifth-order draft was posted for online comment in March. What has the Times done to correct the record? Well, it did post a correction all the way down at the bottom of a very long article. Correction, August 9th, 2017. An article on Tuesday about a sweeping federal climate change report referred incorrectly to the availability of the report. While it was not widely publicized, the report was uploaded by the nonprofit Internet Archive in January. It was not first made public by the New York Times. Now, as the Washington Post Eric Wemple points out, the Times also had to change their story, the language in the story, to take out many references about the exclusivity. As it detailed the conclusions of the draft report, the New York Times highlighted an equally scary prospect, that without the intervention of the New York Times, it might not have seen the light of day. Examples. One government scientist who worked on the report and who spoke to the Times on condition of anonymity said he and others are concerned it will be suppressed. Times also said a copy of it was obtained by the New York Times, and the draft report by scientists from 13 federal agencies, which has not yet been made public, concludes that Americans are feeling the effects of climate change right now. Some of that language has been taken out of the updated report, and the Times is now running with a headline that says, "Scientists fear Trump will dismiss blunt climate report." Other reports are still out there, like Time magazine. CBS still has a report up saying it was leaked. Salon talks of Trump suppressing the report. Broadcasters around the world echoed the Times claims. Canada's CBC leading their biggest political show with claims that this was leaked, not posted on the internet for comment, and that Trump is suppressing it.
Do you think the scientists are right to be worried that the government could suppress the report?
Absolutely. There is no doubt in my mind, because the Trump administration has basically declared war on all of the environmental agencies, EPA, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, National Marine Fisheries Service, all of us. And so I think that this is one of the tactics that the career employees at federal agencies have right now, is to leak things.
So will CBC or any of the other broadcasters around the world that repeated the false claims of the Times, will they now put out their own corrections? I doubt it. Mark Twain is often cited as saying that a lie can be halfway around the world before the truth gets its pants on. Well, that's what happened here. This was an out-and-out lie. Like I said earlier, the news here isn't the claim in the report about climate change. Reports about humans killing the planet, those are a dime a dozen. The news was and still is the idea that Donald Trump was suppressing news, and because it fit the pre-existing narrative, it was accepted without question. I've been saying for a long time, the problem with Trump's critics is that they overplay their hands, and they're sloppy because they're so dedicated to taking him down, they don't stop to check their facts. They don't even check their own biases. And in doing that, the New York Times and all those other media outlets, well, they've become what they claim to hate: fake news. If you like the Rebel video you just watched, make sure you never miss another one of our Fearless Reports. Again, click here to subscribe to our YouTube channel.